More. I'm at Amazon Library charging my phone so I can get to Catholic charities and get a sack lunch there. I have money for food. What else did I sign up for stamps and I don't have any? Barely. What else? What else? What else? I posted on Facebook earlier. Este tipo es un puerco asqueroso, una basura. And in my childhood, it's disgusting. I didn't remember him. I just thought he's poor. When I met her in 2016 with how gross he is. Yeah. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? You can decapitate me and that it is Di Lorenzo Suarez. Esta gente son metiches, un asco. They're sex addicts. They're porn addicts. They're stupid. So they steal one's money trying to find personal details of one's life. They're stupid. They're stupid. What else? 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 I'm bored. I miss Dana. I miss my mommy. You can give me money in person if I trust you. Through PayPal, it's AR Blue Sky Designs Go. Y lo que estoy pensando, straight to my heart. Arlene Lorenzo Art, shop INTAYIAFAY, I am tired shop. My GoFundMe campaign is gofundme.com/f/Arlene Lorenzo Acevedo. What else? What else? What else? You can kill everyone that has caused Jaden Kiloni to be separated from me. You can kill everyone that gets in the way of Jaden Kiloni living with me again. It's May 5th, 2025. You can decapitate La Leech, you leech. The thing that I'm gonna illegally prostitute myself just to do something on Cinco de Mayo. They live for the holidays, they're stupid. They illegally prostitute themselves. Ew. That's why I don't like them. For them to be before my children, I rarely expose my children to these people. What else? What else? What else? What else? I posted earlier. Posted this last night. I'm in San Antonio, Texas. Usually, a lot of people just move into like what's the largest metropolitan city around one. I've heard. What else? What else? What else? What else? Imagine that Lily Soros decided to kill herself today. She stays in my homes with all my permission, steals my vehicle, steals my money, and gets in the way of me receiving money so I can be with my man. She wants me to be fighting with her all the time because she's a sex addict trying to rape me, so she wants to get off. She gets off on me not having money for food and suffering as if it's directly to her vagina, and it is. And she's disgusting. Ew. Qué asco. Ew. They're stupid. Anyways, I posted earlier. What else? What else? What else? You can decapitate genies and that it is solo Sonic and una cosa asquerosa. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I have fees that I need to pay. 2 villas I go use, and my electricity is past due, and I need to pay it because there's no electricity in my apartment. And these niches are so gross. I almost threw up when I posted this. Then I didn't have any money for myself and to provide for Jaden Kelani. I'm like, ew! Literally, people call him ass going away to Puerto Rico. He's stealing from me still. Ugh, I don't want to remember. I don't want to see it. I don't want to remember. I don't want to see it. I don't want to remember. I don't want to see it. In almost every post. Ew. Their leeches are gross. They stay in my personal homes. I'm under the impression. And they steal my personal vehicles and they give them to anyone that sucks their dick pretending to be me or wants to control my vagina. They're stupid. They're disgusting. They think that I'm gonna take them out on a date. They're stupid, so gross. Literally, people call them in Aguada, Puerto Rico, asco. de tan puerco que es, de tan basura que es. Ew, 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 ew. They're embarrassing. In other news, I was spoken to my family, unfortunately. These people that have abused me in 4 years. I love that. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? And I should text Danny Kanani. Good morning. There's not wind. What else? Oh, Lord. So I hope to get into something else. And what's that one? Start somewhere down. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Let's go to this. That's all. And then the cafeteria on this trying to force me to move back into my parents' home. He thinks he can just walk into my parents' home and rape me there. Stupid like he used to do when I was younger. You're stupid. So ew, 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 ew. I'm tempted. I've caused masturbation for more than 30 years trying to rape me. And then they mock me because they don't even know how to be a second cousin. You're such an influencer that I'm gonna take everyone that's so out there to pretend to be you. And with my personal money, buy some food, massages, trips, outfits, like, hey, karaoke. And I don't give them chance to talk to me about Carlitos, que la viola y ella lo violan y que se desespera por violarme. I don't want him in my life ever. These people are disgusting. I don't even know why they accept an invite from one. They're just ew. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? So, and today, maybe someone will give me money or pay me back what they steal from me. Porque almost the whole town of Aguada I've heard. That's why they don't react and give money to when they're trying to kill one. Because these leeches have like a waiting list of people that want to jump on his dick and drive my vehicle and stay in my home illegally. They're stupid. They're sex addicts and they're porn addicts, so they do whatever pisses other people stupid. They're so gross. I don't ever want that near me. Ew, 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 ew. Lord. What else? What else? I'm gonna put a picture of myself on a okay. What else? And some people don't want to be invested. So they possibly petition, like, I'll just pay for each. So I don't have to be inconvenienced by running into animals. What else? What else? What else? What else? I tried to tag Houston, but I couldn't find a Facebook page for the Houston city, and then it led me to the website, to the Facebook page of the mayor. And I didn't have a distinct name, phrase, or moniker for me to tell. It does now. What else? What else? What else? What else? I'll try this. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Alarm. So my relatives see this and they're like, we must rape the mayor then, so that he doesn't testify against us ever. Also, but it doesn't pop up. It's not like a distinct legend number on it. 61549176245 It's okay. What else? What else? What else? What else? We got a coffee. Cats. There's a place. whatever grocery. But I decided against it because I haven't eaten breakfast. I don't want to eat pizza. I never had pizza for like a few days. I want to cook for myself right now and I can't. There's no electricity in my apartment. Let's see how much I have. First, I was dating this guy and used to be by myself. And or with dating Kilani, I don't know for sure. I don't like people in my life. That's like for a specific purpose. Which, what was that? Like, what, a second of my day? You know, I ended up seeking the death penalty for that. That concert was like 2 hours. The outing to someone's home was like an hour and a half, maybe 2 3 hours. And then no one talks and says directly, I'm seeking the death penalty for those people. They're stupid. They're stupid. I'm trying to kill them for no good reason. They're sex addicts, so gross. They're embarrassing. I'm bored. I'm bored. How much do I have? Like $40 possibly. And my food stamps don't have deposited into 20 more days. You can decapitate me, honey, so it's not the sons that rape me to steal my money and get in the way of mercy. It's May 5th, 2024. I think their names are Oliver, Alex Leach, Russell Doe. $58.50. Because they're gonna be 2 weekends where I'll have where to eat or food. What if people are gifting out food? It's 2 full weekends and then a day. So I need peanut butter for me to have in my apartment, bread. They're trying to traffic me into a homeless shelter where I can invite people over to have sex with so that she can position herself as your dad if you're watching this. They're stupid. They're literally doing la carrera del bebé. A quien llega primero. They don't know how to live life cohesively. They're stupid. I've never seen anything like this. It's stupid. Ew, 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 ew. They're stupid. They kill for dick and vagina. They're disgusting. Ew, ew, ew. They possibly sexual harassed dating Kehlani behind the scenes. They're stupid. They're so gross. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. I'm bored. You can decapitate you need to regresaron a Suarez. That when I was 4, I was talking to a love interest, and she walked up to me with a machete and said, "Stay away from my man." She stays in my homes without my permission, steals my vehicles, gets in the way of me receiving money, and steals my money so I can't be with my man. She's disgusting. These leeches aren't worth pursuing, anyways, but that's beside the point. You can decapitate me how many Suarez son the sons that rape me, that steal my money and get in the way of me receiving money. They're stupid with 2 O's. But I'm financially stable. I want the t-shirt. Like 1 O is every tatita. But how I spell it. So it's 2 stupid. I can just. What else? 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 This leash doesn't understand what being a woman is. Doesn't understand Catholicism. Doesn't understand what being a wife is. She cried and terrorized people decades ago that if she's his main wife, how is it that he couldn't have a home with me? Then I would have to be like the slug, es un trapo sucio. And that literally is how they treat me. They steal my money so that I suffer. They're like, okay, 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 just for that to be with me. How mistreated me. They're stupid. I don't want this ever in my life. It's gross. It's not even available to me. You can decapitate Jimmy Gentile son esos sones, que es una asquerosidad. She killed my mother, Gloria Nirsa, thinking that I would get close to her mother to tell me stay away from my mom. She's disgusting. She considers her mother a slut just because her mother practiced polyamory. And then she wants to crown herself as the queen of polyamory. She's a kidnapper, a hoe. Una asquerosidad. Ew, 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 ew. Very disgusting. What else? What else? What else? What else? She's been raping for more than 30 years. What else? What else? What else? What else? I want to receive money today. I want to check my inbox. And see donations from people. I'm working on this. I didn't bring food. I got a sweater. It's semi-ish cold outside. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Sometimes I leave gift cards. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? More. I'm bored. I miss my back home. What else? What else? What else? Taking the capital behind me, so there's no systems that rape me, steal my money, and get in the way of me. They're stupid. They've been mocking polyamory, raping people for more than 30 years. I want to pay this bill today. I want to cook for myself. As well. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I haven't been into eggs lately. I may buy frozen waffles and make them in the oven. The next time that I have electricity in my apartment. I don't know. I don't have enough energy right now to be cleaning up for me. What else? 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 White rice with avocado. Love the occasional night out too. This was very pleasant. I bought soap and then I visited. I like this picture. It's like what sometimes is on the press. And I didn't intend for the person to look like she was moving. So I'm like even more in awe about taking that picture. What else? What else? What else? It was so pleasant. Such a great stay there. What else? 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 I was reading. I read this whole thing, so that's good. Like for personal achievement while bored, that was a good accomplishment. And I was offered water there too on the day that I was there. What else? 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 That's fun too. This is pretty. This I like doing. Just taking a picture of randomness. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? More randomness. Why was center established so that people don't go on mislabeling San Antonio with Oaxaca? Awesome. Porque mostly everyone in my family of origin is a bigot. So those were conversations that I participated in as a child. It's like, how can people talk about San Antonio as a place that isn't just Oaxaca based? There's a Cuban center. There's a library. All meant to say, Viva Bernie, please visit us. Get out of your nakedness and join us someday. Why are we or outdoors? What else? What else? What else? What else? So that people don't just label San Antonio as Oaxaca-ish. But there's been a horror cafe here for years. And some people still don't get it. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I painted volcanoes in my apartment last year. That's so much fun. And then I taped that to the wall. He drew this so for real, like my own kid paid me at crayons that day. What else? That's an art class in itself too. Like I look at it, I have it in my closet. And I'm like, I haven't done that in a while, like the shading. More pressure on the crayon. What else? What else? What else? Central gets water sometimes at specific places. What else? I'm bored. I miss having electricity in my apartment. I have an ever conditioned dating can only to provide for me, so I'm not gonna start now when I'm a victim of that, and I know who the people stealing from me are. They just want to abuse my children to provide for me. These leashes are so embarrassing. They kill for Gillette still? Porque dan so terachas. They study what people react to, sadly. So sometimes the Gillette commercial comes on and one says, wow, like that guy is pretty. So they're like, well, Gillette is what you and your kid won't ever have. I bought for myself, I don't buy him the cheap kind. But for myself, I buy HEB brand. I buy. But for him, I didn't ever buy him the cheapest ones, I think. When I was struggling financially, Jaden started shaving. They think that they're terrorists. They're so gross. They're terrorists. They're stupid. I don't ever want that near me. It's so gross. Ew, 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 ew. I'm bored. Sunday, wake up for me. What else? Beware, my home is better. My Lambo isn't like the one in San Antonio. Mostly my family abortion and these leeches there we'll see in Kingdom Farms without being too late. Are bigots so stupid? They've killed billions of people. They recruit people to hate on LA lifestyle without being too late. They're embarrassing. They're embarrassing. They're like, we think Gloria Mirza's family in LA, let's hate on them. They're stupid. They're stupid. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm killing Kingdom Hearts and self-defense. And I'm killing Sarah Lewis and self-defense. Next week. I Skype with my it's a one-time thing. The kids were already born when that happened. What else? 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 When do I head over to Catholic Church? Hungary. Oh, I get some good. Am I very close as I ate today? I missed you. I missed my mom. Lord. Some of these might be duplicates because I have several Instagram accounts. This is a lovely shot. What's that? Pastry la popular on Guadalupe. So, some cream filled pastry with sugar on them. The large sugar squares. And the filling was very sweet. Surprisingly very sweet. They're trying for me to lose my USA bank account, so there's no proof that Edgar and I were married. So that Edgar never thinks about me. Por si USA le llama a Edgar and said, there's a problem with your ex-wife's bank account, which won't ever happen. So they steal money from one and starve one on purpose, and they study the patterns. And they're like, oh, so when she logs in into her bank account, it's just her. Ella no tiene que llamar a Edgar y decirle, dame el password para mi propia cuenta de banco. Porque siempre yo haría para estar hablando con Andrew luego que me divorcié. Yo decía, Andrew, ¿cuál era mi password de mi cuenta de banco? Stupid. So crazy. Mostly everyone in my family of origin is disgusting. They live like they have a fairy tale land in their head. They're foreign addicts, etc. What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. I'm bored. I'm missing on you. How long do I need to charge my phone? Two. Near where Bill Miller's is. Oh, should I get tacos from there? Can I get like $12? That's gonna be my next outing. If I receive money. They have a pulled pork sandwich and a side with a large tea for $8.85. There's a combo meal for $10. Ooh, there's several options. Under 12, then what I would like to partake in, and I usually partake in, is a dish with like a meat and sides, and that's $15.95. No, fries. Not just tacos and fries. There's a potato and egg taco. There's a brisket taco. Just brisket taco. So just do we want meat? I want potato and egg taco. That's what I'm doing today. Could do that for the week if I don't want to wait. Or do I want to head to Catholic Charities and get that's so if I get a potato and a taco, what would the other option be? Oh, 2 tacos and fries, or maybe a taco and fry. Like a snack. Can't have a bottle for water. Spanish rice. And mac and cheese. So, I wish I could have it done on my Uber Eats. I don't have money for it. Hmm. I ate, what was it? Chips or red sticks and our chocolate caramels last night, so I don't feel like starting that whole time. So, Verla cover. The enemy to use. There was a bill menu. Bye. The Holiday and the Haven for Help provided, and no one gifted me money for that. That was in 2021. You can decapitate everyone that stays in my homes without my permission. You can decapitate everyone that steals my vehicles. You can decapitate everyone that gets in the way of mercy money. You can decapitate everyone that steals my money. They're disgusting. He's making a mockery of me because I want to eliminate homelessness. He or his younger brother used the money that he and I didn't use to date, or my personal money, possibly, if Dorianis was so dumb to give them my money. I think this leech has or had a power of attorney to take over my finances as a child when I don't even. They basically terrorize my parents, and they're so deserving of attention that I don't ever want to talk to them. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? So I was staying at Haven for Hope without food or money to do anything. Well, he was possibly like, well, this is how you style in the city, guys. I'm at a Ritz Carlton and I'm ordering room service. Did they torment Jada with this? Or Kaylani? That's Olivia Culpa. She's so pretty. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Do they show this to Jada and Kaylani and say, ja, 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 a que tú nunca has visto a tu madre así? Ja, 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 a que tú nunca has visto, where's her picture with room service? They think that I'm in competition with he, she, or whatever. Into showing. That's a pretty outfit. That's really pretty and so relatable too. On social media. However, if I hadn't been a rape victim, this would be more me. So that I'll admit. But this is like me in real life. Relatable, not entirely like the same person. What else? 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 So, what else? They possibly go on to say to Jaden County, this is your mother's competition. Huh? People before Jaden and Kehlani were born, they're like, oh my gosh, so will it be her? Or will it be Arlene showing what room services? Did I just skip to the post? I mean, that's how irrelevant that is to me. Porque I've done it already. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I just saw that the other day. It may have been like a few posts. Anyways, either way, Jada and Kamani may have been like, huh? to people. I may have said just because we don't show them. Doesn't mean that we don't know what room service is. They're trying to lure my kids in with I can buy you a room service and rape you if your mother hasn't. Does she pester again? Do they pester again? They're embarrassing. They're embarrassing. Anyways, while I walk back, is Bill Miller up? I can order online too, but I want to wait there for my order. Can I order to go all day? Where is this? Give me a taco. Oh, does I want a warm meal? I don't want a sandwich. But I can do that thing. Yes. Where if they have stock lunches? That's what I'm doing. I'm heading over to Catholic Charity and see if they have food there. And then on my way back, because I have to walk past Bill Miller, I'll just get myself a taco. Do they serve tacos all day? Is it available to order online? Is it better if I call 78207? West Commerce, ready in 20 minutes. What's the phone number? What's the phone number? Bill Miller. Do you offer breakfast all day? Do you offer breakfast tacos all day? Oh, okay. Bye. So I didn't offer it. She said not all day. Or if I try online, what is it? Hmm. They have a ballpark taco plate for $8.35. That's not bad. Because I have like $12. I don't spend on food now. Well, they have those burgers for $6 right now. I'm gonna have a heart attack. What else? Sides, there's fries, there's tacos, there's breakfast taco right now. It's just a potato taco. Fuck my life. Bean and cheese taco, bean taco, brisket taco. Who sells taco? So I want fries. What else? What else? What else? You can decapitate Jimmy Gendalides Lorenzo Suarez. Who stays in my homes without my permission, that steals my vehicles, that gets in the way of me receiving money. You can decapitate Jennifer Bonilla. You can decapitate Angela Jobs. You can decapitate Eveliva Lorenzo Acevedo. You can decapitate Marilyn Lorenzo Acevedo. You can decapitate Gilbert Lorenzo Acevedo. They're making a mockery out of polyamory. And they're making a mockery out of me being wealthy and having to be like, but I just have a dollar for a taco. He's trying to turn me into a sex slave or an illegal prostitute. He's stupid. Didn't even buy one piece of my artwork. And I don't insist. And then he wants to try to turn me into a sex slave. He's stupid. He's stupid. Why did I fail selling my artwork? And was he there at the Impact Guild? Porque they plan to make me fail selling my artwork, and then because I don't invite them into my home, and they didn't stitch with me like being sexy. They plan to traffic me into poverty to. They thought like you have amnesia, so you're most likely gonna look for an organization where it seems professional to you, but it isn't. So Sarah Wills established a co-working place called the Impact Guild. And I'm like, oh, that would be a great place to be at. And she's like, well, it was like June. And she said, well, maybe in December you want to exhibit your work here. So she offered. I didn't even ask. So they possibly went on to rape each other around my artwork, pretending that that is my home where all the art was in, and that they spend sexy time with me. They're insane. They're stupid. So gross. They're disgusting. They spend a significant amount of money and time trying to rape me. It's stupid. It's stupid. What else isn't open today? Where can I get another taco? Where can I get another taco? Golden Diverse to Carver Library. Or this is what's on. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Was on Branch Library. What else? Anyways, I'm heading over to Catholic Charities soon. And my phone is charging. Prefer Taco Palunga over Las Buenas. Mi tierra delivers here. I'm purposely missing out on how many people he raped and gets raped by. That he took to mi tierra. He wants to show me pictures of those people. They're stupid. A ver, se cree que a mí me da celo que el pene de él esté por ahí. A mí lo que me da es enojo de que él lleva violando more than 30 years. He stole my money for me to date him. He got in the way of me dating completely by terrorizing my parents. And then he's like in my bedroom after raping me so many times. I'm like, no, you haven't. You've just been raping. Pero ¿quién te dice eso? Besides the police. So I'm like, Dad, he's been raping out there. My dad's like, I'll call the police. Ew, 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 ew. They're stupid. They're stupid. What else? 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 What do I want? I can get coffee and pizza later. Maybe, maybe not. You can decapitate everyone that steals my money. You can decapitate everyone that gets in the way of your saving money. You can decapitate everyone that steals my vehicle. You can decapitate everyone that stays in my house without my permission. Esta tipo una puerca se pone mi panty nueva, la deja sucia en mi casa as an act of terrorism so I can't enter my own home to get my own money. They're disgusting. They're disgusting. They're stupid. They act that because I didn't have a set of grandparents that I don't deserve respect. She wants to be crowned queen of polyamory. She doesn't even know what that is. She's so dumb that she thinks that by her getting close to what polyamorous is, it's like that when she actually does it, que se va a caer el mundo celebrando that she actually gets it done well, and that's gonna make her the queen of everything. That's how stupid that is. Dan un asco, son una basura. You can decapitate Jimmy Zendali or Suarez that stays in my homes without my permission, that steals my vehicles and gets in the way of me receiving money. It's May 5th, 2025. Tagging that behind this post later. What else? What else? What else? What else? I was dating risking money. I haven't heard Kanani since November 2020. I haven't heard Jaden since July last year. When he visited me for a day. I'm going to visit Jaden Kanani in town for next week and they give me money in person to PayPal. My GoFundMe campaign. PayPal is AR Blue Sky. Blue Sky Designs ko. Lo que estoy pensando straight to my heart. Arlie Lorenzo Art. Shop by NTAYIAFAY. In charge of my GoFundMe campaign is gofundme.com/f/Arlene-Lorenzo-Acevedo. My next album cover, they think que si se portan bien, suben como la espuma. They're stupid. They have a place in the planet already. They think they're Hollywood like a star, and then it gets put on the ground and remembered forever. So they don't behave well because they're like, what if then there's like traces of my name everywhere and already killed it? They're stupid. They're so gross. They're embarrassing. Ew, 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 ew. So good. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What do I want to eat later? Who's gifting me money? They hired groupies to try to lure me into getting even with this. They're stupid. They're stupid. They're like, we have to bring her home. But then he said, just tell people, tell all your classmates in college and your sorority sisters that Arlene doesn't even know how to speak English and is in the United States. So that they don't give her money because we need to bring Arlene to her parents' home. Just say that she's lost in San Antonio all the time. He thinks he can disrespect my dad. Yo lo mato if I'm ever in my dad's home, which I don't foresee. And he enters there and he rapes me. He thinks he can disrespect my dad now that he's killed my mother. That I would move into my parents' home and then he would walk in and rape me in whatever room I am in. They're disgusting. They're gross. They don't deserve a place in this planet. They're stupid. What else? 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 I'm bored. I'm bored. Anyways, I'm using the restroom. So maybe I can get over to this. When the subscriber. What else? You can decapitate Berenice Venegas. You can decapitate Benjamin's daughters and sons that rape me, that steal my money, and get in the way of receiving money. You can decapitate Jorge Villas that raped me in 2016. After my vagina picture to give it to Jimmy Jandalides, to Janitza Munoz Carrero, to David Ledesma. They're all trying to rape me. They're disgusting. They don't seem to give up. Where's the money? Why haven't I received any donations? They're stupid. They're stupid. These are supposed to be relatives, some of them. Ew, 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 ew. They're crazy. Stupid. What else? 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 When does this get here? 1:42. I'm headed to the restroom first. Oh, breakfast taco from Bill Miller. Let me get done. Ladies. What else was this? Like those shoes that I have from Time and True that have a very colorful stripe. What else? What else? I miss my Bowflex wigs. I miss taking off. else? So those demons and that it is torture her kids with watching me. That if they want to keep me as a mother, they must do what she says. That's not an option for them. Those are my kids. She's stupid. So gross. They tried to recreate with her a polyamorous marriage with me. They even had someone act like he's a girl when he isn't. They're stupid. They're extremely dangerous. You can decapitate Taishna Ramirez. You can decapitate Jordan Ramirez if he stays or she stays in my homes without my permission, steals my vehicles, gets in the way of me receiving money or steal my money. I have no affiliation with those two kids. What else? 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 That's usually how they infiltrate one's homes. They're like, if I take my kids there, she won't seem to the penalty for kids, right? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? You can decapitate Jimmy Gender y eso no se sabe que es una basura, una asquerosidad. An embarrassment. What else? What else? They're terrorists. What else? The vessel will be here 5 minutes. So I don't want to be rushed. So I'll leave it to. But do I want to help me to know talk on? Chicken that has mac and cheese. No. What is a good smell chicken? I don't want chicken though. Taco and coffee. What else? What else? What else? Anyways, I was laughing in 2020 how Jimmy Gendalides steals my money, gets in the way of me receiving money, stays in my homes without my permission, steals my vehicles, thinking that I'm going to be talking about her all the time. What I know about her, what I think about her. I know nothing about that leash. She's insignificant. She's just a straggler that was around my parents decades ago because her parents were working all the time. I was sent to doesn't know manners, doesn't know anything. Very disturbing. Lo único que sabe hacer es cambiarse el cótex, es lo que el papá dice. Ew, 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 ew. They steal my money and turn me into a homeless lady for calling their wife a strangler. That's what she is. I'm stating the obvious for the situation that I met her in. Anyways, I want money gifted to me. You can give me money. There's my bank accounts. The definition of straggler. What else? What else? What else? What else? Gigi Gendalides Cindy Lorenzo is a straggler that I met decades ago. And I don't intend to have a relationship with her ever. That's a word. I can use that word. You can decapitate Benjamin Suarez Lorenzo's sons that rape me, that steal my money and get in the way of me receiving money. They're stupid. They're trying to become they were Gloria Mirza's husbands, and I need education by calling people straggler. It's a word, and I'm using it with the correct meaning. They're stupid. stupid. They're anti people networking at events. They want everything to be an orgy and everyone being like, mwah, 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 not saying a word. They've killed millions of people with destroying communication through speech. They're stupid. This in just the past 5 years. I gave a compliment to Palestinian men decades ago. And the women are pretty too. So he's killing them. So I can ever find someone that I love there. Or from there. My parents stopped taking me to orgies when I was around 2 or 3. Because the quality around me was terrible. So my parents said to me, just say to everyone it's you, it's not me. I don't want to be with you. We're divorced. So he blames my parents that he couldn't keep on raping me. Because my parents listened to me. He would visit me in my parents' home, rape me there, and then take his dick over. O sea, hasta donde llegó, sin bañarse. Así llegó a Panamá sin bañarse para que se lo mamaran. Como un lollipop esperándola a ella por mí. He's trying to facilitate leeches to rape me. He calls for Jennifer Marie Vasquez to rape me decades ago. He calls for Yesenia Roman Feliciano to rape me decades ago. This leech had Ginny Jandaris spank me once. And then he cried that I wouldn't have a baby with him. Loco, estúpido, bruto. Ew, 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 ew. They're disgusting. You can decapitate me how many citizens. The sons that rape me to steal my money and get in the way of me receiving money. You can decapitate. Like how many citizens, the sons that rape me to steal my money and get in the way of me receiving money. You can decapitate me to that need sons. I'm thinking, should I buy cups and drink coffee from the lounge area? I bet it was at Egoist. I was there charging my phone earlier. What else? I want a tan. I need a swimsuit. What else? This picture I took last night while live. So pretty. What else? I miss Tina, I miss Naomi. I miss Tina, I miss Kaimani. I want to visit Jada and Kaimani in Tampa next week. What else? I'm bored. Will I stay at Bibliotech for a little bit later? Because it's at 8. Oh. Maybe. There's an art event. Is it today? And I won't be able to participate. There's no electricity in my apartment. I don't have money for food. So I'm not in my apartment at the moment. And there's a workout event. What else? They're trying to traffic me into a homeless shelter so I can't have visitors, so I can't have sex, so I can't have my kids with me. So they want me to be the permanent resident at a homeless shelter. They're stupid. You can decapitate me how many sons that rape me, that steal my money and get in the way of me receiving money. They're stupid. I've tagged the FBI in this post, NATO. Did I tag NATO? Yes. Interpol, the Justice Department in the United States, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, the Marines in the United States, and the International Criminal Court. It's May 5th, 2025. Oh, I want to taco today. So weird. But I've had tacos. What else? Why can't I get And I rolled my eyes. I don't know if you noticed when I saw Uber Eats as tacos Mexican. I'm like, you know, it is. What else? What else? Oh, that gives a headache sometimes. It's like I'd rather head over to the restaurant that isn't tricycles. Or maybe like that particular style. It's like their origin or where they practice. But sometimes some places online or in person give me a headache for that reason. What else? 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 I'm bored. I miss dating. I miss knowing. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Díganle Capitán Carolina Chavez. That stays in my homes with all my permission, steals my money, gets in the winners. What else? What else? What else? Aquí poniendo por acá una asquerosa faux terrorist. Ew. They thought that I would show out the que sex like de un animal que se le trepa encima a la persona and call them puerco y puerca. And they would be like, oh no, honey, she's insulting us. They're sex addicts, they're rapists, murderers, and thieves. They're porn addicts. So gross. That's a porn addict response. They're stupid. People warned them. It's like, don't ever speak like that. Don't ever even put that in writing. She thought that I would go on to find out every single time that she's been on that day. But why? If I have no interest in them, I don't even consider them family. They're just animals on top of each other, raping each other, raping other people. They mock polyamory, they rape. She's like, bring me a virgin. And he asks little girls to lie and say, just say you're a virgin, please. But I got tired of looking good for a virgin this time. They're stupid. They're stupid. They're gross. And he thinks that I'm gonna take it all day? Never. Ew. They're embarrassing. What else? What else? What else? What else? I wanna visit the beach. I gotta get a taco. Downtown for $12. Where is it? Where? What's on Broadway? What else? There's that place, Tacos on Broadway. I don't want to visit. What is that place called? What is that? Oh, the Hunk. There's one taqueria. There's a theater. It's so funny. But I don't know where it is to there. What else? 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 They thought that I would wear sneakers during a cocktail hour at a nightclub. He's drugged me before, hasn't he? And my dad reports it. How neglectful my mother was towards me. He's like, me lo voy a llevar. And then he would rape me, and then he possibly prostituted myself and drugged me. I was in my parents' home. I woke up in a home next to one of them. I don't remember who it was. In that Shayla girl's home that she got through the city of Section 8 voucher. And there were like a ton of people naked in a bedroom. And one of them woke up next to me. Like he and I were married. I'm like, no, we're not. And I think even my mother was there. And I don't remember how I got there. I don't remember anything until like I woke up next to one of them. So disgusting. They're stupid. I think Pedro Capo was there. I guess dad was there. Wilson Lorenzo was there. They're disgusting. They're disgusting. You can decapitate everyone that has raped me if they've jerked me. You can decapitate Benjamin Soros and his sons that raped me to steal my money and get in the way we receive money. They retaliate because I don't want to take them ever on a date. I don't have to. I don't want to. They're not worth it. What else? What else? What else? I guess I'm heading to the bus stop. What else? What else? I'm bored. I am bored. You can get me money in person through PayPal. It's AR Blue Sky Science School, and that's the good send straight to my heart. Like a little so hard. Shop INTAYIAFAY. Entire shop. My GoFundMe campaign is /slash it's May 5th, 2024.